Greetings, my fellow adults, and welcome to Adulting with Adam. Today, we were going to make Tuscan chicken over angel hair pasta, but it's looked like this all day. And I ain't feeling that, so we're making soup. What kind of soup? Potato, leek, and shallot soup, with crispy croutons and bacon. For this recipe, you'll need a leek and a shallot, or maybe 2 shallots, or maybe 2 leeks. You'll need some fresh garlic. You'll need 2 good-sized russet potatoes, some fresh Italian parsley, some frozen peas, unsalted butter, some cured bacon, and this is the thick stuff because I like it thick. You're going to need some bread for the croutons, unsalted chicken stock, some smoked paprika, although hopefully a cheaper brand than that, and heavy cream. And as always, sea salt and black pepper. Okay, first thing we want to do is preheat our oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we'll do our prep. So we'll start with the leek. Let's cut off the end there. Cut off the top. Now, we want to make sure this thing doesn't have any little dirt and bits and gunk and stuff in there, because sometimes shit hides in a leek. But it looks pretty clean to me, so we're going to slice this up nice and thin. Oven's preheated. Add into a bowl. All right, now we'll do the same thing for our shallot. So I won't lie to you guys. The recipe that I'm using is it's for a potato leek soup, and it called for 2 leeks. But guess what? I don't have 2 leeks. I got a leek and a shallot. So you know, use what you've got. That's the rule of this kitchen anyway. And we'll slice that shallot nice and thin too. And the shallot can join the leek in the bowl. And it just occurs to me now that I'm using the wrong side of the cutting board for this, but you know what? This is a cheap piece of shit cutting board, and I'm going to have to replace it soon anyway, and as long as I don't actually cross-contaminate anything, I'm not worried about it. And we want to peel and crush our garlic. All right, now we want to cube up this bread in about crouton size. I like a decent sized crouton. Probably about somewhere in here, you know? And into a bowl. Oh, brioche. All right, now we're going to chop up this bacon. About like 1/2-inch chunks of bacon is going to get the job done. Back on bacon slime. Yum, yum, yum. All right, next we want to chop up some of this parsley. So I'm just going to cut off what I consider to be a decent amount. I love fresh Italian parsley. It's so good. It just smells so like bright and fresh. That's probably good. And it can wait in there. We want to get some of this smoked paprika and this butter on these croutons so they can go on a cookie baking sheet and go in the oven for about 10 minutes. So we're going to get some of this here. Try to get that mixed so it becomes paprika butter. Drizzle that all over. Take your spoon. You're not going to get like a full coating on all of them. Not this way anyway. But we do want a little bit of butter and paprika involvement on every piece of bread. Oh yeah, that's nice. Spread them out into a single layer. Okay, so that's about what you want it to look like. So our last bit of prep we want to do here is we want to cube up these 2 russet potatoes into about 1/2-inch cubes. One thing that I recommend is getting yourself a bowl of water, just because if you leave cut or peeled potatoes out for any length of time, they can oxidize and turn brown, and they don't taste as good. Just so that I don't have to rush around and let them sit in water, which deprives them of the oxygen they would require to oxidize, and it saves me from stressing out. You don't have to be too exact with this. We're just trying to kind of get them to where the individual pieces will cook relatively quickly. That's the croutons. Let's check those. So here are our croutons. They look pretty all right. And back to the taters. Did I just cut myself again? Just a little. Just a little. It might not even bleed. Nope. I think we're good. Okay, now we're going to cook up this bacon real quick. And just throw it in there. Knock it around for about 10 minutes on medium heat. Get it all mixed around. Coat the bottom of the pot with bacon grease. We want to get it crispy. We do not want it to burn. My knives are here. I think we got a free minute, so let's check out my delivery. Huh? What do we got in here? Oh, an actual chef's knife that was recommended to me by an actual chef who is a friend of mine. I ran into him at a brewery last night, and I was like, yo, chef, I need a decent knife. What should I get? And he said, an education. No, he said, oh, Porter, they're gone, bro. You're good. He don't know. He don't know nothing. He said use Wusthof. This is the Wusthof Classic chef's knife. Let's open it up. Let's see. Beautiful. That is nice. It is very sharp. I guess the balance is like right there. I actually don't need this now. I've done all of my chop. Like there's no more chopping or cutting or slicing to do with this meal. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Most of this is going to get edited out. Isn't that right, Porter? We're going to edit most of this out, aren't we? Yeah. Do you ever eat? You should go eat. You should eat your food. I bet you eat when I eat. When I eat, it makes them hungry. When other people eat, it makes me hungry. And when I cook, it makes me thirsty. All right, we can transfer our bacon to this plate with a paper towel on it where it can just chill out. Add about a tablespoon of that bacon grease back in here. And swirl that around a little bit. Get it back on the heat. Bring the heat down just a little because it's a pretty hot pan. And now in can go our leeks, garlic, and shallot. Stir that around. Get it good and coated. Probably be a good idea to toss in about a tablespoon of butter. Add a little black pepper to it and some sea salt. Give another good violent stirring. This stuff is, yes, sufficiently cooked down. So now we are going to add our chicken broth. This recipe calls for 4 cups, which if you didn't know is exactly how big one of these containers is. This is 4 cups. And in it goes. Now we're gonna add about 2 cups of water to this and add our potatoes. There we go. Now we wanna cover this bad boy and bring it to a boil over high heat. We're boiling, so we are going to reduce this to a simmer, and you want to just partially cover it. You want to let some of the steam out, but not all of it. We're going to give that about 10 minutes. Timer's going off. So we're just going to check one of these potatoes. Oh yeah, those are soft. Okay, I don't even need to taste it. 4 went right through it. I hope they're not overdone. Take this off the heat. Okay. Move your butt. Move. You're always in the way. You're always in the way. All right, folks. So this recipe calls for a blender. I'm supposed to take half of this out and put it in a blender and blend it, and then add it back in, and so on and so forth. And I must have told her she could take the blender because I don't own a blender. I didn't remember that. Luckily, I went out and bought this guy the other day. This is an immersion blender. It is probably not appropriate for this job, but guess what? It's all I've got. One can only hope this shot will work out. My monitor display is off, my Wi-Fi from my camera dropped. Technical difficulties abound. However, we've got to blend this shit up. I hope you guys see the effort I'm putting into this. All right. All right, higher speed. It's getting kind of spitty. Okay, what are we dealing with here? Let's take a look. Still an awful lot of whole potatoes down there, so I say we keep blending. All right, how about now? And we don't want to completely annihilate all the potatoes, I don't think. I think we keep blending a little more. I do think that is sufficient. I don't know. So we've got this pretty much blended up. We're going to put it back on the heat. I'm going to put the heat probably up to about a medium high because we want to bring it back up to a simmer. And as that happens, I'm going to add our heavy cream. And mix it up. That looks nice. You can't see it because I don't have this thing going yet. Hold on. There, you can see. Well, it's a nice color. You know? It looks pretty good. So we're just going to get this back up to a simmer, and then I'll lower the heat back down to medium low. At this point, we're just trying to cook it down to a nice consistency. Oh, hey, I almost forgot something pretty important. We need to add the peas. Yeah, we need about 1.5 cups of these guys. I tell you, man, I'm always forgetting stuff. Oh, God. Holy shit. Okay. Oh, fuck. There. I think I'm going to add any of these little guys that escaped. They can go into. not the ones from the floor. And good thing to note, when the peas are done, the soup is done. Soup is done. We'll take it off the heat, give it a quick stir, and we're going to ladle it into our bowl. Oh yeah. Oh, it smells fantastic. My goodness. We want some croutons and bacon. Oh boy. And our parsley. Okay. Well, did this thing even record all of that? Did it? It says it did, but I don't know. I think it did. What do you say, folks? I think it looks all right. What do you say, Porter? Do you think it looks all right? Do you? You think it looks good? All right. Let's eat. Okay, guys, we just had another success. I got a lot left back there, so I'll probably be eating that stuff for another 2 days at least. I should also point out, we got all the way through an entire episode without a major disaster. No fires, no severe injuries, no strange non-indigenous species trying to invade my home. That, if anything, should let you know that I don't manufacture these situations when they do happen. They're legit because they don't happen every time. If you find this video inspiring or entertaining, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content from me, subscribe to my channel. We'll catch you next time.